A very good day to our lecturer, Professor Dr. Tan Chong Eng, and our fellow classmates. We are from Group 9 and today we're gonna do a presentation on whether online learning is a good way to continue in the future. Before we start our presentation, I would like to introduce our groupmate first. I am Muhammad Sukri bin Ismawi, metric number 77598. Next one is Adelton bin Semail Timba, 68886. Zulhamizan bin Dahlan, 72969, Lim Kargi, 70195, and Muhammad Harunizam Baharon, 75729. The COVID-19 pandemic, also known as the coronavirus pandemic, is a pandemic that has emerged in 2019. This disease occurred due to severe acute respiratory syndrome coronavirus 2, which also known as SARS-CoV-2. Initially, the outbreak started in Wuhan, Hubei, China, in December 2019. After the spread of the disease to other places and it also spread abroad, it has been designated as a pandemic because it spread on an international level. Beginning on March 11, 2020, the WHO organization, which is the World Health Organization, has designed this pandemic as a pandemic because it has spread internationally. The name of the pandemic was introduced by the International Committee on the Taxonomy of Virus, namely COVID-19. This is because it happened in 2019 and the word COVID is the abbreviation of coronavirus disease. Since the pandemic spread, various sectors has been affected and various measures have been taken to deal with this pandemic, from SOP care, new lifestyle, and movement control order. COVID-19 has caused school to close around the world. Worldwide, more than 1.2 billion children are out of the classroom. As the result, education has changed dramatically, with a distinct increase in the use of online learning system, or better known as e-learning, in which teaching is conducted remotely using digital platform. Research shows that online learning has been shown to improve information retention and take less time, meaning change caused by coronavirus are likely to be remedied.
In our opinion, the online learning have both positive and negative impact toward the learning effectiveness for the student. So the positive impact is larger capability of accommodating for the classroom. In physical class, the size of classroom will limit the quantity of students in the same class. So if the classroom is smaller, the lecturer have to open the other group or other class for different students and teach the same thing in different time. So during online class, the Zoom meeting and also Google Meet meeting can contain more students in the same time, and the learning will become more effective. So the second positive impact is the student can play back and also pause the recorded video for the lecture. So during online class, when the student is unable to follow the lecture or they absent for the lecture, they can play back the recorded video and also pause the recorded video when they can't understand the lecture. And also it will become useful for students to do revision in the future. Otherwise, the negative impact for online learning toward the learning effectiveness for students is students unable to focus on the class. So in online class, the student easy to influence by the social media platform like Facebook, Instagram, and also WhatsApp. And they also will influence by the third party like their family members and also the environment problem. And during the online class, the lecturer is unable to track the situation for the student, whether they are focused on the lecture or not. And also the second impact, the negative impact for the online learning toward the learning effectiveness is no direct interaction with the lecturer. So during the physical class, the lecturer can provide the quick face-to-face feedback for the students when they need help. And during the online class, there are no interaction between the lecturer and student is not direct enough. And the learning attitude will become more passive, and when they face problem, the student will prefer to rely on the recorded video on online information. So our opinion, the both positive and negative impact for learning effectiveness is depend on the learning attitude for the student. When the student is have positive learning attitude, they will gain the positive impact from the online learning. But if they have negative learning attitude, they will improve by the negative impact from the online learning.
Hello, my name is Zohamizan bin Dahlan, Mometric 72969. Today I will talk about implication on human factor. There are some good effects when all previous PDP are converted to online learning. First, this will affect the motivation and readiness of students in learning new norm in the formation of personality and building understanding of the person. The main thing that need to emphasizes is the readiness of student in online learning, where in this case, student must be mentally and physically prepared to pursue online learning. This will make them learn and improve their learning method while ensuring that they are smart in managing time to study and so on. In addition, student and teacher can learn a new technology and open their mind to the new thing that can help them in conducting and following this online learning. For example, they know what software can help them in submitting work, preparing work, making interesting presentation. This will increase their knowledge and can show that they can follow this learning even though is not conducted face to face as before, but it does not prevent teacher and student in improving their knowledge. They are also bad in learning new method. One of them is the learning experience of the student themselves, where they will have difficult in providing some of equipment when starting online learning. As we know, not all students have the necessary facilities. In addition to the situation of those who are not at home is different from other not at all have a good place to study or not all have enough time. For example, some students have their parents to work, some are not able to divide their time well. They have a responsibility taking care of other things at home. Furthermore, the bad gain from this online learning is the emotional stability is disturbed. In this case, it is explained that a result of the influence of this online class will advise affect the mental and physical of person when they overwork and class they have to attend without rest and so on will cause pain on their body. Example like wrist, back of body, shoulder, and other pain on their physical. If we see in mental and emotional, this will cause them to feel mentally burdened and lack enough rest to complete the work which need to be delivered according to the set day of the deadline. In conclusion, there are pros and cons in online learning according to human factor, whether it is based on the need, wellness, and motivation of the person. Many of things need to be researched for such a person to begin to adjust themselves in this online learning and teaching transactions. That's all. Thank you.
I, I want to talk about implication on ICT infrastructure. Among the positive effects of ICT infrastructure is easy access to information. Various information can be accessed through ICT mediums such as the internet. This makes it easier for students to get information on matters related to education on the internet. Students can also browse was the growing number of educational blogs on the internet. ICT also facilitated communication. Through social sites like Facebook, Twitter, Skype, women can communicate online easily and quickly. Parents can also cure homesickness by contacting their children who are far away from home through the social site like Skype. There are several negative effects of the development of information technology. Among them, a lot of wasting time. The fun of surfing social sites like Facebook, Twitter, and playing virtual games online causes one to spend a lot of time. The most significant effect is on students who spend their time surfing the internet, thus neglecting schoolwork and study time. The productivity of an employee will also decline if he is too lazy to surf the internet. In addition, ICT also has a negative impact on the occurrence of cybercrime. The more advanced the information technology, the more cybercrime is taking place. The cybercrimes in question are such as online fraud, fake transaction, cyberbullying, and so on. The cunning of this cyber criminal is sometimes able to hack the national defense system and government secret that can expose a country to the threat of external elements. Online buying and selling scam also bring huge losses to buyers or sellers. In conclusion, the advancement of ICT is expected to have a positive impact on its users. The negative effects caused by the advancement of ICT must be given attention by the government and those responsible so that this negative symptom can be eradicated. ICT users should also be smarter in evaluating each content received by the speed of ICT.
End user is classified as a person or people that use particular product, and in computing, they are people who use all the software or applications made by companies that specialize in creating and managing it. End users in computing uses these softwares through many forms such as applications, websites, and even gadgets such as smartphone devices or personal computer. During the COVID-19 pandemic, the world is shocked with how humans have to distance themselves in any activities, which made countries implement lockdown. These restrictions made businesses unable to operate and even classes. Students have to undergo their classes using online platforms and submit their work, exercises, and even assignments online. Although it is difficult for students and teachers or lecturers, but due to the restrictions, everyone had to adapt to the changes. Platforms like Zoom, WebEx, Google Meet brought a lot of changes to how class and even meetings conducted nowadays. For students, softwares like Word, PowerPoint, IBM, SPSS, eViews, or AutoCAD has been so important for them. With the pandemic still around, this makes students able to spend more time to learn and improve their skills in using these important softwares. And with high demand for the product, it makes developers to compete more to improve their product for better performance and features. Other than softwares, developers also created cloud storage such as Google Drive or OneDrive, which is very beneficial for all type of end users. Data and files now can be easily transferred and shared among employees or students. Having cloud storage is crucial for students to enable them manage their work with other fellow students and to enable them to be able to be flexible and do their work on any devices such as smartphone, tablet, laptop, or personal computer. For example, in Unimas, the Perpustakaan Tun Abdul Rahman Yaakob Petari provide online resources from the local library, from ebooks to articles made by lecturers. Thanks to the system, students don't need to do all the scripting and coding themselves to transfer or manage their work, but instead, thanks to IT developers that created the such technology to lessen the students' burden.
In conclusion, health organizations around the world have tried various ways and measures to curb the COVID-19 epidemic from spreading to the people around the world. Various methods such as implementation of movement control order, SOP, and proper healthcare when the pandemic struck. All of these measures allow us to survive when this pandemic strike. The success in producing vaccine is also a step by health authorities around the world to ensure that the spread of this disease can be cured. The change in learning method for all level of the student, namely a primary school, secondary school, and also a student from the university, is also a step taken by the government to ensure the students are safe from this pandemic. Thus, this online learning method provides various positive impact in dealing with the spread of this pandemic among students. Various advantage that can we see from this implementation of online learning method, where students can easily do a review what is presented by their instructor. Therefore, the use of this online learning method have need to be reviewed so that it can give more positive impact to the student. We also agree that this online learning is still a good way to conduct it in the future if the pandemic are still spreading. That's all from our group. Thank you.